We are all too familiar with disasters. The long procession of civilization has been regularly marked by cataclysms of one kind or another. Often, these overwhelming events have torn down what human beings have accomplished, and yet they have also awakened in us the will to rethink and rebuild our world, to be more resilient and to be better prepared. So, recurring typhoons, hurricanes, and floods have prompted us to develop ways to predict their onset. The devastation of the world wars led us to establish international bodies which might help to avert future conflagrations. The widespread deaths from diseases have forced us to develop the means of prevention and treatment. In a way, disasters have promoted human evolution and enhanced the survivability of our species. The various catastrophes which have visited us down the ages could be seen as being of two kinds: so-called acts of God or acts of greed and stupidity. We are told of a great flood in the Bible that destroyed the entire world but for Noah and those he rescued. And in recent years, superstorms like Katrina and Maria and drought-driven fires around the world have amply demonstrated the power of natural disasters. But human beings can also bring about far-reaching, mindless destruction, like the Holocaust, Hiroshima, the vast tides of war-ravaged refugees. Against this backdrop, we might ask, what sort of disaster is the COVID-19 pandemic? It's tempting to say that the coronavirus is Mother Nature's way of getting our attention, forcing us to reconsider our lives of meaningless consumption, planetary rape, and our incessant travel born more of restlessness than necessity. But there have been numerous op-ed pieces citing the human treatment of animals, overcrowded cities, and inadequate health care as the causes of this pandemic. Both views have validity, but neither really tells the whole story, because this is unlike anything we have ever experienced. Over the span of recorded history, have we ever been visited by something that affected just about everyone on planet Earth? Not just as distant observers on TV or Facebook, but as direct participants whose lives are physically impacted. It's hard to think of any other events in which we could say that pretty much everyone on the planet is, for once, on the same planet, mentally as well as physically. And have we ever experienced in this or other lifetimes a phenomenon that not only affected almost everyone, but which affected us on so many levels, threatening not just our physical existence, but severely injuring our economic, societal, and mental stability? From an economic collapse which is positioned to be the worst in memory, to the looming humanitarian crisis of famine in underdeveloped countries, from the sudden joblessness of hundreds of millions of people around the world, to the rise of domestic violence and child abuse. This pandemic seems to be coming from beyond the natural world and beyond the human world. If we believe that, to state it simply, a higher agency than either nature or humankind is at work here, then shouldn't the nature of our response be different? We have learned that the intelligent response to natural disaster is acceptance and recovery. To human-generated disaster, remorse and changing our ways. But what should our response be to a disaster that is natural and human-made, and yet something quite beyond?